today I'm going to be going over 10 things that I would like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon. Now, some of these are just things that would be really cool, but a lot of these would drastically improve the gameplay of Theme Park Tycoon. And with a lot of the updates we've been getting as of lately, these are actually realistic, and I can see all of these getting added. So make sure you watch the video to the very end to see what the last one is, because I really want the last one so bad. But before we get into any of that, make sure you're subscribed down below, as 95% of the people that watch this channel are not actually subscribed. But anyways, let's just get straight into it. Hey guys, and welcome back. And today, we're going to be going over some things I would like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon. Now, actually, a lot of these things I could actually see getting added very, very soon. But honestly, some of these things, it would just improve the life of, like, everybody that builds on this game by, like, so much. But before we get into it, I want to hear what you guys want added to this game. So comment down below before we get started, like, what you would like to see added to this game. But anyways, let's just get straight into it. Now, the very first thing I'd like to see added is some more rides with drop tracks. Now, drop tracks are really, really cool, and I think they're very interesting that just the way they function and how they work, it's just awesome. Now, we got this for the 1 billion update to Theme Park Tycoon, but you can see a lot of these different rides, like for instance, the single rail coaster doesn't have them, the junior coaster doesn't have it, which there are actually some junior coasters that do have this in real life. I don't think the inverted power has it. Yeah, it doesn't. One that actually really should get it, in my opinion, is the water coaster for a very specific reason. And there's rides at, like, for instance, Journey to Atlantis and SeaWorld that do actually have drop tracks. But as you can see, they don't have it on this ride. But those are kind of like basic ones that I would like to see it added to. A ride that really, really needs it is the dark ride. I know that sounds very, very weird, but there are actually dark rides with drop tracks and elevators. Like, for instance, Rise of the Resistance. But I think a really cool thing on Rise of the Resistance is the final drop on it. I mean, honestly, that is the cherry on top to that ride. It is so freaking cool. I actually love that ride so much. But it'd be really cool to see stuff like that added to the game. Like, I don't know. I feel like the drop tracks really aren't being updated to that many new rides. And there's definitely a lot of rides, like, for instance, this too. This one would be pretty cool with the drop track. There's only a select few rides that actually utilize it. So that would definitely be cool to see added. Some more drop tracks to different rides. Now, the next thing I'd like to see added is a brand new top spin. Now, we have a top spin in this game, and I mean, it's okay. It doesn't look bad or horrific or anything like that. But this is definitely a very old ride. I'm not sure when this came out, but I would go as far as to say it came out in like 2018, 2017. And you can see no meshes or anything like that. They're just all basic Roblox parts and that are animated to make this ride. I mean, it's actually a pretty cool little thing, but it'd be very awesome to see a brand new updated version of this. And another thing that's a little bit off about this ride is how there's just lap bars. I don't think there is any top spin in real life with just out lap bars. But the reason why I think it would be kind of cool to see the top spin is that maybe Dennis could make like different variations of the top spin. Like, for instance, there is a giant top spin which have been installed at 2 parks, and it is crazy. Like, absolutely crazy. One of them is at Phantasialand, and another one used to be at Kings Island. But I'll have a video on screen of just how crazy this would be. And I think it would also be really cool for us builders because, you know, we could actually program our own rides and stuff like that. I haven't really seen anybody try to do that with a top spin because, for one, it's just so small, and it would be kind of difficult to theme something this like this. I don't know. But it would be very cool to see this ride get an update. Now, the third thing I would like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon is the Frisbee. So this is the Frisbee ride here. And I mean, this is definitely cool. This released with the game. It's not like bad or anything like that, but it would be very nice to see an update to this ride, as there's a lot of different variations now to this ride specifically. Like, there is a giant Frisbee. I'll have some images on screen, and there's also just smaller ones that look a lot different. But it would be very nice to see like a giant Frisbee like added to the game. That was one of the things in modded Theme Park Tycoon that I thought was really awesome. And who knows, this could be on the horizon, because like literally every single ride that was in that version of modded Theme Park Tycoon has been actually added to Theme Park Tycoon. But I think it'd be very cool to see like a giant Frisbee ride added to Theme Park Tycoon, and you could really do some theming to it as well. I remember I made one of these rides, but it had like Barnstormer theming, and I think that would be kind of neat. Like, I don't know, but I think that'll go on to the next thing I want in Theme Park Tycoon. So the fourth thing I would like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon is just some pre-made buildings. Now, I've kind of talked about this before, but I think I have like a more interesting concept to this. I feel like you could add like some very interesting pre-made buildings buildings to different rides. Like for instance, Barnstormer, what I just mentioned at Dollywood. So Barnstormer at Dollywood, it has actually very interesting theming to it. As mentioned, it's like themed to like a barn, kind of what I was talking about with the Frisbee ride. I did that, but like this is like the actual version of it. It'd be cool if some rides had like just some, you know, default like things that were like around it to like make it themed well. Like for instance, if there was a pre-made building for the double swing where it had like the barn around it, that would be pretty cool. Or I mean, he also could just do that as a skin too, I guess. But that's just like one idea. But I think as well, just pre-made buildings in general, especially when it comes to like, you know, different shops and all that, it would be very nice to see. Like I would like to see where we could actually just place down restaurants, where we could place down like an entrance building, and heck, you could go so far with this idea. In theory, you could literally make like a Steam workshop and have it like Planet Coaster where you can upload your buildings to Theme Park Tycoon. And then other people can go ahead and place your buildings in their park. I mean, you could build on that idea so much to where like you could integrate it into credits, where if someone actually uses your blueprint, you get some credits. I don't know, that's just like an idea, but you could go really far out with that if you really wanted to. But just blueprints in general, where I could just like, you know, plop down a place and it just has a pizza restaurant to it, that would be a massive help. And I think as well, it would really improve the game for new players. But I think the next thing I want to get on is something with these paths. Now, the next thing I want, I've talked about this before, but I really think the game drastically needs this, and that is off-grid path placement. Like not even just off-grid, you know, just curved paths, you know, like the fact that this is a curved path in Theme Park Tycoon, like I don't know, man. We've had so many advancements to this game. It would be very nice to actually have legitimate curving paths, and not just like curving paths. It'd be cool to just have paths in general that were just like, you know, off grid. Now I know this would definitely be a very hard thing to do, as Planet Coaster has the worst path placement system I've ever seen in my life, and that was made by a full-on, you know, but honestly, with the way Theme Park Tycoon is, I really think Dennis could do it. And I think it'd just be really cool, especially where you could really just like build anything anywhere. Because right now, paths is a big limitation to Theme Park Tycoon. Because, you know, if you want to build like a narrow pathway, well, this is as narrow as you're going to get if you want guests walking through it. And also with like, you know, custom stalls, if you want to have a restaurant, you know, you can only build in a grid. It would just be nice in general to see curved paths, things to make it more smooth. And I just think it would be a great addition to Theme Park Tycoon. Now, the next thing I would really like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon is trolleys. You might be wondering, Maliboomer, what is a trolley? Well, you weren't wondering that. That's like so self-explanatory. But I got a trolley right now up on screen. This is a trolley. This is something that a lot of parks have, and I really love them because it just brings so much kineticism into parks. It's like, could you imagine walking down Main Street just with like no movement at all? Like there's just like no cars, no trains. I don't know. I think it just really brings it to life. And that's definitely something I've heard a lot of players really wanting to Theme Park Tycoon. And I just think that it's a very cool ride. It's a very basic ride, and I don't even think it would be that hard to make. I think probably the hardest part to make would be the actual like how the trolley would function. And is in a sense because trolleys have like big support pillars where like the cables connect above them. But like in the sense of like technical work, it would work in the same exact way as like a train would. But I would really like to see trolleys added to the game. I just think it would be amazing. Like imagine a trolley going down your main street at your park. That would just be amazing. So I think we're on number 6 of things I want in Theme Park Tycoon now. If I'm not, there'll probably be a correction on the screen for the rest of the video. The next thing I would like to see added is something a lot of people have actually created in this game, but very funkily. But it's actually something a lot of people really do want in the game, and this would be a very advanced coaster to make. But honestly, with Dennis making rides like the swinging coaster and all of that, I have a feeling he could do this one. So there is a ride called the bobsled coaster, and this one is a very cool ride. Now, what this ride does is it functions as a normal roller coaster up until you hit the top of the chain lift. When you hit the top of the chain lift, you literally have free movement. You're in like a trough, and you go around the track swinging from side to side. I got some photos on screen of what I'm talking about, but it is a very cool concept, and I think Theme Park Tycoon could really use a coaster like that. I remember Timon a little bit ago, he made a really awesome version of a bobsled coaster, and he like used actual primitives and I think a single rail coaster to do it. And I've seen a lot of other people try to like attempt to make this, and it's a very hard coaster to make, but it's just a very, very fun and cool ride. I would really like to see something like that added to the game. I just think it'd be so cool. But like I said, it's definitely a pretty advanced ride to make because, you know, you're having a cart go around a trough freely, and like, how would you even program it to, like, you know, what if it goes off the trough? What if you make like a sharp turn and I can't comprehend that? I don't know. Dennis could find a way. I believe in you, Dennis. The next thing I would like to be added to Theme Park Tycoon is something that I think the game needs right now, and it's just an updated statue / mannequin system. I feel like the way it works currently is very inefficient, as in it doesn't really like properly adjust to characters correctly. Mind you, this system was made all the way before Arthro. I feel like a new system where you could go ahead and like just place down a character. You could type, like, go into here, see it has no edible properties. Imagine you could just type in a name, boom, their name appears there. Heck, if Dennis even want to go the extra mile, maybe a character customizer where we can actually decorate our mannequins. And if you want to go the extra mile, what he could do is turn the mannequin system into an animatronic system where, you know, just have like some programmable things on here. Not even programmable, just like animations that we could set. I feel like that would go a really long way. But I feel like this current mannequin system, it doesn't work with Arthro. A lot of characters don't work with this. And even my character, you can see there's bugging out with the head and stuff. All I gotta say though is the one thing I really do like about the current mannequin system is it's kind of a cool way that like we can go ahead and like sign your park, like all of us YouTubers can. Because, you know, when we do our like touring park stream and stuff, we got so many people always asking, like all of the Theme Park Tycoon YouTubers, to go ahead and place down our statues. And that's because you can't like replicate my character because it's got a lot of limited items on it. And it's just like a kind of a cool way to sign parks, I guess. I don't know. But I definitely think that would be very, very cool. Now, the next thing I would like to see added to the game, and this is something I can't believe I've never even recommended before, but that would just be really cool. I feel like the game could really use ride operators. Like, it'd be awesome if there was a ride operator that would go through each one of these and actually check the restraints. That would actually be so cool. I feel like it would just really kind of bring to life a lot more of these rides and stuff. And I feel like if jobs were a thing in Theme Park Tycoon, I feel like that would be one of the first things that should be added. Something that Planet Coaster doesn't have, and I feel like it'd be cool. You know, the guests get in the ride, and then the operators check all the restraints, and then they give the okay for the ride to dispatch. I feel like that would really bring to life the game more. But I don't know if that can necessarily happen because this game's already very intensive. I can only imagine what that would do to it. It'd probably only complicate the game further. But it'd be cool. I'd like to see that. Now, there are two last things I would like to see. I think we're on 10 and 11. So one of these is an honorable mention, but I'm just gonna literally just say these are the two things the game actually really badly needs right now. First things first, the game really needs an updated map. Like, this map is so small. I mean, it is very small to build a roller coaster on. Like, dude, when I do my 1 hour roller coaster build series, I'm taking up the entire map, and sometimes roller coasters won't even fit in this range. Like, dude, when we see Disneyland parks, like, this is why a Disneyland park has never been finished in Theme Park Tycoon. It's because you can't fit all of Disneyland into a plot this small. I don't know, with roller coaster trains going from initially being like 2 trains like this to now having like massive roller coasters like the dive coaster or the wing coaster, it is very, very hard to fit a roller coaster in a plot size like this. Because now when we see roller coaster parks, there's only like a few rides, and that's because roller coaster parks can only fit a few rides. I feel like with the most recent megabyte change, where you can get, if you have the upgraded plot size, you can actually, you get a few extra megabytes. I feel like an expanded plot would really go a long way. And this is kind of like an off-brand idea that I think would be really cool to see. What if like there was just like a 1-player server, or like not even like just 1 player allowed in the server, but like just like where you could still have like, you know, 6, 7 people in the server, but 1 plot is loaded. So you can have a gigantic park loaded with a lot more data, and it won't lag the game, and people can still check out and view your park. I think that would be a really cool idea, and I feel like a lot of people would definitely utilize that. You could even like do something sort of like Mario Maker, where you have like a code and you can go visit people's parks, or something like work at a pizza place where you could go check out people's parks, and how they do that and work at pizza places like parties. I don't know, it's kind of a confusing idea, but I feel like it would definitely work and allow for a lot bigger plots and a lot more data for people. But the last thing that the game actually needs, and this is something everybody has been preaching forever. And I really got to say this again because I'm really saying it now. Like, we need this bad. We need a duplication system in the game. Like, bro, I was talking to Kosii the other day, right? He was telling me about a Super Nintendo park on how, like, he spent, like, 8 hours doing something, right? Building something in the game. When it could have taken him 2 minutes if duplication was a thing. And I don't blame him for raging at that. I would actually probably play this game more. I'm not even joking, like, off camera and stuff, if duplication was a thing. Because that means we could build our own custom fences, place them along. It's not even just custom fences. Bro, what you could do for a blueprint slash duplication system where you group items together and then Control-C, Control-D them. Bro, it would go miles. And I know this is something Dennis could do because he did this in Water Park World, and it was so nice. I would really like to see that out of the game. Like, I actually think the game really badly needs it now with all the brand new building mechanics, because now it's focused on, like, building really intricate details, and it's really hard to do that if you can't copy and paste items. I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys have to think about that. But yeah, those are been 10 things, I think. I think it's been 10. I've lost count. It probably has been. But I mean, that's 10 things I would like to see added to Theme Park Tycoon 2. I'd like to hear back from you guys, though. What would you like to see added to the game? Tell me down in the comments below, because you guys got, like, great ideas. But anyways, gamers, I think this is going to be where we wrap up today's video. If you liked today's video, make sure you go down below, smash that subscribe button. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone!